Live. I am Courtney Herring, and full disclosure, I had a horrible migraine today, but guess what, everyone? When you're an entrepreneur, you have to show up. You have to show up when you're sick, when you're tired. You just have to show up. And I want to always show up for my community and everyone else, that is listening. So today, this will probably be a quick live. And again, you might even hear my 5-year-old in the background. This is what it is, right? This is entrepreneurship at its best. So let's get started. So I wanted to talk about how, people that are in healthcare, healthcare managers, right, can actually use social media. I talk about this a lot because in the healthcare community, we don't necessarily use social media the best way that we can. As you know, we have gone, in so many different ways, just even in technology. And with technology, right, there's text messaging, there's, still like obviously faxing or uploading PDF files or whatever. You can scan things and drop them, to somebody next door or whatnot. You can use technology, and that is one of the ways that you're going to be able to be successful as a healthcare provider. So why don't we kind of go through what can you do and how can you utilize social media so that you are the best that you possibly can be. So you can use social media to also do live updates, right, during your procedures. So a lot of doctors and surgeons and even, pediatricians, depending on, kind of what's going on with a patient, a lot of times people or their family members want to know how is someone doing. So what they're now doing in, the medical field, for some people, I'm encouraging all people to continue to give live updates, right? When someone is actually in a procedure or even in like the waiting room. So through the pandemic with COVID, a lot of us, I don't know if you guys have gone to the doctor lately, but some of them had us waiting in your car. And then when you went to the car, you were going into the waiting room. Well, I remember when my son actually, he had a emergency dental appointment, and obviously he has two parents. Well, I was able to go in, but my fiance was not. But they did have updated things that you could actually log into to see what was the progress of his visit, because only one person could go. So again, go ahead and utilize social media to be able to do that. It's very good, and it's also transparency. Also, you can use social media and communicate in the time of crisis. So you can, if you're a hospital and you're over capacity, right, you can put that on your Twitter page. If you are no longer taking, patients or whatnot, you can also put that on, your Facebook or your Instagram account. You want to make sure that people are able to communicate or understand your hours of operation on social media. So continue to use it. If there is an issue where right now some things are up to capacity, obviously we are still in a pandemic. As I said, hospitals are putting those notifications up on all of their social medias so that everybody is aware and we don't have people coming to that facility if they are not able to treat others. The other thing is, due to, again, the pandemic, you can train other medical staff as well when by using social media. So a lot of people not only use social media to, kind of talk like we are right now, doing live, but they also do webinars and they're able to teach their medical personnel. Not only not always are medical personnel actually in the office. And because of that, all of the training that needs to happen should be able to happen over the internet, over social media. So use it, right? If we don't want some of our employees to be sick, or we don't want to expose certain people so that our practices can be running, then again, let's do social distancing and actually use what we have. So the next thing is you can also use social media and compare and improve, the quality of your services. So with social media, again, if you want to compare and contrast maybe your family practice or your behavioral health practice, you can go ahead and look at other places and do a market research and go on different social media platforms to one that might be different than yours, or even something that you might think is the same. If you compare and contrast what they offer versus what you offer, then you understand what is everyone actually looking for. What are those patients looking for? If your patients are not getting the care that they truly desire or need, you will not, right, continue to have people that are coming in through your doors. So you always want to remain current. And to be able to do that, again, you can use social media. The other thing is sharing information, right? So as we're doing right now, obviously I'm live. I'm sharing information with you on how to be better, right, in healthcare. How can you communicate to your patients? How can you communicate to the public, right? So this is again an avenue that you could use. I tell so many different healthcare providers that what they do in the exam room or what they do in a facility, it also needs to be shown outside of the facility. So one of the, I would say, kind of practices or people that are doing really, really well who show certain results, I will give it to them, is usually plastic surgeons. You see them all over the place. They'll show a before and after. But I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter what type of healthcare provider you are, you can still show what have you done for someone else. What is the outcome? What and how have you helped them? Again, it's always the know, like, and trust factor. If people don't see you, then you don't exist, right? Unless they know exactly where your office is or, who you are, how would they know who you are, right? So just like I'm saying right now, I'm showing up, I have a migraine, right? But I'm here. And so what I want everyone to know is that no matter what, I'm going to show up for my community. I'm going to be here to make sure that I'm giving out accurate and educational information. And I want you all to learn about healthcare, and I want to be a change agent. And the only way to do that is sometimes by doing things when you don't want to do them. And that is why sometimes entrepreneurship can be tough. But I promise you, if you put the effort in, you will succeed. Okay. So I do want to tell you, I do have a webinar, and it is tomorrow. And of course, see, they interrupt you, of course. So if you go ahead and you are in any of my social media platforms, especially for LinkedIn, go ahead to my features section and you will see that I have a webinar tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time, okay, tomorrow, and it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be talking about how a healthcare provider can build their personal brand. And that, again, is so important. All of the things that I just listed about social media is something that you have to be able to use. If you do not use it, you will be forgotten and people will not know who you are. It's plain and simple. And even though sometimes in, healthcare, we don't really understand, I think, social media, especially some of my behavioral health people, you have to be out there. That's how we find you. That's how we look at reviews, right? For patients. So again, go ahead to my webinar and I hope to see you there. And again, have a great night and you'll see me soon.